All right, so to set expectations for today's episode, if you came here looking for a deep soul-crushing dive into your subconscious, I'm going to invite you to go back an episode or two.
Yeah, because today's vibe is more of the put your emotional baggage in that overhead compartment, take a seat and enjoy your free airplane snack.
Today we're talking about coins that show up when you're not trying to coin anything. You know, like when you're elbow deep in a bag of potato chips and suddenly you realize, I'm content.
Yeah, or you're watching some random animal chase its tail and somehow it reminds you of what your career path or what's going on in your day to day.
Exactly. No life epiphanies on purpose today. Just some stories, a few laughs, and probably one or two revelations that might sneak through the back door while we're distracting you.
Sure. And you know what? So buckle up or don't. You can be carefree with this one. Hell, I don't care if you even have pants on. It's fine.
Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Nature of Everything podcast with Bo and Clint, where we deep dive into the world of personal development through coin. Confirm it, own it, be intentional, and change the nature of everything.
All right, so the other day my son borrowed my car, right? Mm-hmm. And when he brought it back, he looked at me all proud and he says, "Hey, I put some gas in it, but you don't need to pay me back since I've been using it."
Hey, man, that's good. That's awesome. Hey, that's sweet. That's as sweet as it can be.
I agree. But the funny part is I get in the car and I glance at the gas gauge and I kid you not, that there's a quarter tank more gas than when I left it.
A quarter tank. It's like the dashboard just sort of whispering his generosity.
Exactly. I think the gas light just stopped flickering just out of respect for his generosity.
I don't know. It's kind of like if somebody shows up to a potluck with their casserole and it just happens to be a little crusty hot pocket on a paper plate.
Look, right, but here's the thing I love, because in his world, that quarter of a tank was like a grown-up gift. I mean, it's like the widow's mite of unleaded fuel, but he gave what he had to give.
And you're exactly right. That is 100%. That's the coin right there. That's a gift you only see when you're not trying to be all deep and philosophical about everything, when you're not trying to put all kinds of crazy gravity on something, when you're just, you're just trying to get home without the gas gauge coming on, and he helped you out. He served it up for you.
Right. I mean, that moment didn't need a gratitude journal, but I think it needed a standing ovation.
100%.
Or maybe at least a slow clap.
And you know what? In the spirit of where we are today, we're going to give him little poetry snaps. We're just little poetry snaps. It's good because you're right. Everything doesn't have to be that heavy lift, page filler after page filler in the diary or in the journal. You don't have to document all of those things. It doesn't have to be a gap closing kind of day. But I mean, those little things, they matter.
Right. I mean, sometimes personal growth looks like eating cereal in your pajamas while you're watching that documentary that you thought was going to be awesome, and it's just putting you to sleep.
Sure, because sometimes growth, it really is just realizing that that's perfectly fine to be in your pajamas watching TV. It's okay.
We talk a lot about coin and, we got to confirm it and own it and be intentional and change the nature of everything. But, today, maybe being intentional means intentionally not doing anything transformative. And I think it's important for us to just remember some days we need a little recovery day.
Absolutely. But to your point, it's intentionally doing that. So if you're intentionally going to lay on the couch, well, then intentionally be laying on the couch and lay on it so hard that you leave an imprint in that couch so that, I don't know, your grandkids can find 50 years from now because you have intentionally laid on the couch.
And look, that's the coin. That's what we're saying today. You don't always have to coin so hard. Do you coin, bro?
Do you even coin, bro?
But sometimes the wisdom comes in the rest. Sometimes the gap closes a little bit just because you stopped white knuckling your growth for 5 minutes.
Sure. I don't know. Maybe the pot of gold needs to take a breather every now and then. Sure.
Yeah. Or you just realize that the pot of gold was the couch that you got to lay on. It was that all along.
My pot of gold is my easy chair. Don't you worry about it.
So let's do something really radical, like in the spirit of kind of maybe celebrating the wins, taking the rest, that kind of thing. Like, let's ask ourselves, like, what's been going on that's been going right?
Hold on. Let me check Twitter. See if anything's. Nope, nothing's going right on Twitter today. Never. But seriously, to your point, I agree. What's working?
Yeah, I mean, for me and Clint, I know we've talked about this. I mean, the world seems to be a bit of a circus lately. For those listening, your coffee's probably cold, and your kid just probably used that good towel as a cape. but let's ask, like, what's been quietly okay?
Yeah, maybe you did remember to take that extra 30-minute walk, or you drank your prescribed amount of water that you've been wanting to meet, or maybe you found a parking spot without spiraling into some existential dread. I mean, you know what? Wins are wins.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, in asking that question, we need to take inventory. And this time we're not taking inventory of our flaws and the things we haven't done, but let's take some inventory of that random stuff that's actually working. Like, even if it's just that one plant that you didn't kill.
Or the fact that your email inbox says 0 for like maybe a whole 12 seconds, but maybe there's nothing in your email inbox just for the moment.
Sit with that. Sit with those things. Like, don't overanalyze it. Just kind of let it marinate in your brain like leftover spaghetti.
Spaghetti's always better the next day, dude.
It is.
No, but seriously, I agree. To your point, you don't always need a breakthrough day in, day out. Sometimes it's vastly important just to notice that maybe a break didn't happen.
Yeah, or maybe you just need to take out the trash.
Well, if you want to talk, is it trash day?
It actually is trash day. And look, trash day is my church. Okay.
Sure, I get that. I mean, there is something, I don't know, emotionally releasing about, wheeling the can to the curb and going, hey, look at me. I did a thing. I got rid of some stuff. I unloaded something. It's like, here, world, here's what I no longer need. Take it, bury it, send it away. Like, let me start over again, even if it's this week,
I mean, there's truth in what you're saying. Like, let's look deeper. Some people fast. Some people journal. I haul bags of expired yogurt and broken dreams down to the curb.
Yeah, but think about it. That's a coin for you. That's the practice. Trash day is your ritual of confirming that, these items no longer serve you, and owning the fact that you let it pile up. That's one part of it. And then intentionally walking it to the curb. I mean, I don't mean to make light of it, or even trash day is a solid reference of how you change the nature of everything, just by making space for whatever's next.
Yeah, like it's like I've acknowledged the rot in my fridge and I've released it from my life. That ought to be a sermon. But seriously, what you're saying couldn't be more true. And it goes to show how coin, even in the simplest things, sort of shows itself as just kind of being true. Like, you can confirm and own and be intentional with the smallest of things.
Sure. And obviously, it's anecdotal, but sometimes it's that one thought you have been, again, for reference, it's a thought that maybe you've been recycling for weeks, and maybe the one that says you're behind, or you're not performing high enough, or you're not doing enough.
Yeah. You know what? Let that be the trash. Take those thoughts out, tie them up, and let the emotional sanitation team do their thing.
And remember, just because it smelled like shame, it doesn't mean that it was shameful. It just, you needed to get rid of it. It needed to go.
Yeah, let it go, friend. Because nothing says I'm functioning like an adult, like taking out the trash on the correct day. I mean, that could be gross. Nobody likes hearing the beep, beep, beep from the trash truck driving by when you didn't take it to the curb.
Absolutely. But once it's there, once it's at the curb, once the beep beep beeps are done, then it's gone. And you've put that down, you've put it away. And with that comes that rest. And so that's what we're saying today. Don't feel like you can't take a moment. Like, you can just be. Like, once you've set that out, once you've turned it loose, you can just be. And I think that's exactly what you need sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, and look, that's really the episode today. If you don't take anything else away today, just remember, like, not every coin is a thunderbolt of wisdom. Sometimes it's a quarter tank of gas. Sometimes it's putting your trash out on time. But maybe take a minute to just relax into your life a little bit and enjoy some contentment.
Sure. And sometimes, the greatest act of personal growth can probably be demonstrated in just simply not losing your cool in whatever supermarket parking lot you may be in at the time.
Yeah, I mean, growth doesn't always roar like a lion. Sometimes it sighs and says, you know what, I'm just going to sit here for a bit and let life happen around me.
Yeah, so give yourself that break. Intentionally so. This isn't about being lazy, but you're allowed to let little weird things and little lazies, like little tiny lazies, it's fine. It can be a lot less perfect as long as you're intentionally being mindful of those things and allowing those things at your behest.
Yeah, and look, if you do want to read something a little deep and life-changing while you're curled up with your blanket on that couch, maybe grab the coin book. At coinyourlife.com. It's like therapy that you can dog ear.
Or you can throw it at somebody. It's perfectly sturdy enough to be used as a tool in that sense as well.
Well, I feel like we've given everybody the nonsense a light touch today that everybody needed. And look, next time we're going to be back with something new and fresh and deep and grueling. But until then, let's just take out the trash and let's pocket those small wins. And don't forget, you don't have to coin so hard today.
Be intentional. Take a break. Rest it up. It's fine. You know what? We'll see you guys next time. And I will say, as deep as we may go, or as grueling as it may be, pants are always optional.
I dig it.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out coinyourlife.com and find us on social media.